The Renault Kwid has been a huge sales success in South Africa, with well over 600 units sold in December 2017 alone. An automatic version has been conspicuously absent from the model lineup until now.
Listen, Renault Kwid is very important for Renault. It was a great success when it was launched in India in 2015, and in South Africa we've been having this car for the last 14 to 15 months, and it's been an awesome success.
The Kwid AMT does not make use of a conventional gear lever. Instead, Renault has opted for a rotary dial on the center console with 3 positions: reverse, neutral and drive. A storage area can be found in the space normally occupied by the gear selector. The transmission has 5 speeds, and we were curious to find out how its automated manual operation works in the real world.
I think getting used to how they've actually made the AMT itself. You drive for a bit and you can already feel sort of a cut in the system and transmission changes. So that's when you need to go off on the accelerator and then accelerate again. It's sort of, I got used to it, but it's disturbing for the first sort of 20 minutes you drive into traffic. But once you get on the highway, higher speeds, there isn't much of that unless you're going onto an incline.
It's like having a clutch, but there's no clutch. So you're changing, it's basically changing gears for you. So it's not your normal automatic vehicle. It basically changes gears and you feel it change. So it's a bit snappy when changing.
The AMT comes in at 146,900 Rand, which is 10,000 Rand more than the Dynamique manual, but less than most of its competitors.
I know the drive was smooth, but it took me time getting used to the gearbox because it felt like I was driving a manual but without the clutch. So otherwise, once you get used to it, it feels like a normal car.
You know, with the Renault Kwid, what we managed to have is a very affordable but very well-equipped car. So there's a lot of entry people who are buying the car. So what happens when we've done some surveys, as we always do, and we see that 60% of the buyers of Kwid are first-time buyers. 70% they are black women between 25 and 35 years. So what happens is that for a lot of these people, it's the first time they drive a car. And of course, it's much easier, especially in great traffic conditions, to drive an automatic than to drive a manual car, because you can keep both hands in the steering wheel.
It boasts similar performance figures to the 1-litre Dynamique, except for fuel consumption and CO2 emissions, which now sit at 4.4 litres per 100 kilometres and 104 grams per kilometre, respectively.
I think this car serves a very big purpose for the younger generation who are starting to buy cars, and it's their first car. It's relatively cheap, actually quite affordable, and it's got all those little takes and stuff that they actually incorporate into the car and gives it a big, massive appeal. So I do think the market is going to receive it well, and the younger market as well. Female buyers, I think, are drawn to this car because obviously of its affordability, and it does offer little tech and little special features about it that they're really drawn into. So from that point of view, I think the female buyer is really going to be drawn into this car.